This question is for Lena. About 90% of the time that a drain is clogged is caused by the person using the drain, flushing things, putting grease, food down drains, etc. However, there are those few times that it's natural causes, like roots and lines. How do you determine when you should charge a tenant? You know, we can generally tell if it's grease, but with toilets, you don't always know what caused it because it just pushes down the drain. So clogs are, technically speaking, a tenant expense. So to date, I don't think we've ever charged a tenant for a clogged drain. We really don't run into this problem too often, so we certainly get clogged drains and clogged pipes, and we have felt that it was a result of tenant activity. So typically wipes. And our plumbers know. So the plumber goes in and they can pretty much tell what caused the leak. So they're the ones that are cleaning it out, the clog. They can see what clogged it. And they can also see that the tenant has wipes on the back of the toilet. So we have certainly, absolutely been fairly positive the tenants have caused these clogs. My personal, technically speaking, a clog is a tenant's responsibility. And we also have that in the lease. We personally have never charged a tenant for a clog, but we would. So the plumber will go take the clog out. If it looks like it was the tenant, we will say, hey, the plumber feels strongly that this might be your activity. We're going to pay for it this time, but if it happens in the future, please, we will have to charge you. I mean, we kind of frame it a little bit nicer, saying, hey, please don't use wipes. If you do, we're gonna have to see it as your expense. Now, I mean, there's other parameters to this. I mean, if the tenant moves in and 2 weeks later their drain is clogged, there's a good chance that has nothing to do with that tenant, and it wouldn't be fair to charge them. If the tenant's been there for 3 years and their pipe gets clogged, then quite possibly it is their expense. But nowadays, with cameras and everything else that the plumbers have, they can tell if it's roots that are in a pipe. If you have a good plumber, I mean, they'll have an idea of who's to blame. And we've had those situations where, we often, what we get is owners buy houses that they feel are turnkey. They'll buy a brand new, fully, rehabbed home that was just flipped. And the problem is the property that's flipped just for resale is often just a piece of garbage behind the walls. And what happens is almost with every property that we take over that's a full rehab that an owner will buy thinking it's turnkey, is the tile guys will actually dump all the grout into the pipes. The pipes aren't being used because the property is vacant, and then it will clog those pipes. So almost with every property that we get that an owner buys as an investment, that's a full rehab, we'll know we're going to have probably about a $300 expense cleaning the pipes, just because that you're basically putting concrete down the pipes and just leaving it there. And that's not a fair tenant expense. So hopefully that answers your question. Good luck.